It began before dawn, in the quiet streets of Chicago. The sound of engines broke the silence.
The only thing that's more disgusting about what happened today is that it is not an isolated incident.
SUVs with blacked-out windows rolled through intersections, stopping without warning. By the time the sun rose, neighborhoods from Evanston to South Shore were locked in a pattern of fear. The federal operation had begun again.
And what we saw today was terrorism in our streets. This is terrorism on behalf of the federal government on its people.
The first raid hit Evanston, just north of the city. Neighbors said they heard shouting before they saw flashing lights. A man was thrown to the ground, his head pinned against the pavement. Cell phone footage caught what came next. A uniformed CBP agent striking him again and again. The video spread in minutes.
And we were a caravan following an SUV, a federal SUV, honking our horns, and there was contact between the cars. They yanked the folk out. There was a pretty heavy arrest.
By sunrise, it wasn't just a clip. It was a symbol of what people feared the most, that anyone could be next. Hours later, another raid unfolded in Little Village. The narrow streets were filled with the echo of boots and the metallic slam of van doors. Families peeked from behind curtains. As agents carried out arrests, outside a corner store, a woman cried out in Spanish, calling for her brother as officers pushed him inside an armored truck. No one could tell who was being taken, or where. Only the lights of police vehicles reflected on wet pavement, painting the block red and blue. At almost the same moment, chaos spread to South Shore. There, residents woke to explosions. The heavy thud of flashbang grenades shaking the block. Doors shattered, sirens wailed, and helicopters circled above the rooftops. One witness said it looked like a war zone. When the smoke cleared, a dozen people were on their knees, surrounded by tactical teams. Some shouted names. Others just stayed silent, hands trembling in the cold morning air. The operation moved fast, sweeping through apartments and warehouses, leaving confusion behind. By midday, word had reached the Broadview Processing Center, the site of previous protests. Hundreds gathered at the gates. They held signs reading, "Stop the raids and families belong together." Tensions boiled over when agents advanced to block the entrance. Chants turned to shouts, and smoke filled the air as protesters were pushed back. One officer was struck by a thrown bottle. Another grabbed a megaphone from the ground and warned the crowd to disperse. But the people stayed. For hours, they stood face to face with the same agency that had filled their neighborhoods with fear. In downtown Chicago, reporters rushed between police. Briefings in community shelters, ICE officials called the raids routine targeted enforcement, claiming those detained had criminal histories or deportation orders. But residents told a different story. Fathers missing from homes, workers taken from construction sites, children waiting outside schools that never opened that morning. At City Hall, the mayor's office released a statement urging calm, while Illinois' governor demanded a halt to operations over Halloween weekend. Local leaders condemned what they called a show of power that endangered families. Still, the raids continued, their timing unpredictable, their purpose unclear. As night returned, the hum of helicopters faded. In the streets, broken glass glittered under streetlights. People whispered names of those taken, trading information like secret codes. Mothers double-locked their doors. Fathers stayed home from work. Even those untouched by the raids felt the chill, the uncertainty that at any moment, the knock could come for them too. Officials have not released the full list of arrests. No agency has offered exact numbers. But across Chicago, the pattern is clear: neighborhoods under watch, families on edge, a city caught between law and fear. And now, as the federal silence stretches into days, one question keeps echoing through every block from South Shore to Evanston. Was this truly about security, or something far deeper? Something meant to remind everyone who really holds the power. Chicago is still waiting for that answer. And until it comes, the memory of these raids, the lights, the noise, the sudden terror, will stay burned into the heart of the city.